but research has actually been looking at microdosing as a potential treatment for depression and anxiety. That is, taking really small amounts of psychedelics without the hallucinations or the so-called trip. And while microdosing has yielded mixed results and has been heavily scrutinized by scientists in the past, today's guest on the podcast conducted the first double-blind, placebo-controlled, randomized trial on microdosing psilocybin for depression. So this is a high-quality study design and has not been done before, and he's going to be sharing his surprising results with us here today. Hello and welcome back to the integration session. I'm your host, Dr. Lena Koning, and today we're joined by Dr. Rotem Petranker, Director of the Canadian Centre for Psychedelic Science and co-founder of the Psychedelic Studies Research Program at the University of Toronto. So what makes this trial design, for people who aren't familiar with it, what makes it so robust compared to previous research on microdosing?
It's a good question, and for people who really want to dive into it, I recommend reading a paper that I published last year with some of my colleagues called Keeping the Promise. It's just a review of all the RCTs and quasi-experimental studies on microdosing until I think maybe late 2023. I don't actually remember. But a lot of the research up until that point, I think, was motivated by just wanting to get stuff out there, going fast. And there are many, many methodological issues. I feel like, I'm not sure who the audience is that might be listening to this, but unless they're very, very, experts in clinical trial design, these things may not necessarily mean a ton to them. In a word, it was very important for us to have a large enough sample, so we ended up with 39 people, whereas previous studies were like between 10 and 20. It was important for us to have a diagnosis of depression, whereas previous studies, if they did use depressed population, it was more like based on self-report. It was important for us to control the set and the setting, which are very, very important for psychedelic studies in general. And this is something that's been broadly neglected in other microdosing studies. We also pre-registered our hypotheses and the design, which is something that, apart from one group of colleagues from the Netherlands, Michael van Elk and his team, as far as I know, no one else is doing that. I think these are kind of the first things that come to mind. These are the most burning issues that I wanted to address.